Hello, how are you today? I hope you're well. Welcome back to Learn English with British Harry. My name is Harry. I'm a native English speaker and an English teacher. Today we're going to look at some English phrases, specifically British English phrases you need to sound natural. These phrases are really handy, really useful to use in everyday conversation, and also when you are watching TV shows or movies, it's nice to understand what they mean. So the first one is, I'm absolutely knackered. Knackered is an informal word for feeling tired. So for example, if someone asked you how you are, how you're feeling, you could say, I barely slept last night. I'm absolutely knackered. Or if you've been doing something very strenuous, like running 5Ks or going to the gym and having a really hard training session, you could say, oh, I'm absolutely knackered. So knackered is a very useful word. It's a very informal word to use to say when you are tired. Maybe you haven't been sleeping properly. Maybe you have insomnia, and this can lead to you feeling knackered. Fancy a cuppa. Fancy a cuppa means would you like a cup of tea? And you'll hear this on TV all the time. And British people love to drink tea. I love to drink tea, and I drink less now, I think, and I've replaced this with water, but I may have 1 or 2 cups of tea, and during winter I would have more because having a nice cup of tea is like a warm hug. It makes you feel better, especially when the weather is terrible outside. So fancy a cuppa? This means would you like some tea? I'm chuffed to bits. This means to be really pleased. If you are chuffed to bits. So for example, I got that job and I'm chuffed to bits. I am chuffed to bits that you are watching this video, so I'm really happy. Can't be bothered. This means when you don't feel like doing something. I was going to tidy up, but I can't be bothered. And this happens a lot. So if you have to tidy up your house or your room, but you look at the mess and you think, I can't be bothered today, I'll do it tomorrow. So if you can't be bothered, that means you don't feel like doing something. And it can be used to describe someone else's behavior. So if you go into a shop and no one looks interested in helping you, to describe the situation, you would say, they can't be bothered to help. So you can use it in a multitude of situations. A bit dodgy. This is very common. This means when something is suspicious or not quite right. If you are given some food at a restaurant and you look at the food, but it doesn't look cooked properly, so you could say this looks a bit dodgy. And it can also refer to when you are buying something, you could be suspicious. So if you see a deal that's too good to be true, if there is a laptop that was £1,000, but now it's £200, that seems a bit dodgy, seems a bit too good to be true. So this is when you are either suspicious and you feel like something is not quite right. If you are going somewhere and you see someone who is a bit suspicious, they may seem drunk and they are walking towards you, so you may cross over the road because the person seems a bit dodgy, a bit unpredictable, not quite right. So dodgy can be used in a lot of different situations. You can say pop to the shops. This means to quickly go to the shops. So if you can also say, I'm going to pop out for a bit. And here you're not necessarily telling the person where you are going, but you are indicating how long you are going for, because to pop out means you're not going to be gone for an extended period of time. You're not going to be gone for a long time. So you're just popping out. For example, I'm just popping out to the shops for some bread. And in a way, when you say this, it makes the journey more bearable. Maybe it's raining outside and you don't want to go to the shops, but by saying, I'm just going to pop out to the shops, you're telling yourself that it's going to be quick. So you can grin and bear it. You can go through that terrible weather, the rain, and you'll be back before you know it. So to pop out is a very useful phrase. You can also say pop in. So if you're speaking to your friend on the phone, you can say to them, I'm going to finish work at 6 o'clock and I can pop in at 7 o'clock. So it's a very versatile phrase. It's not my cup of tea. This means something that I don't enjoy. For example, reality TV is not my cup of tea. And you can apply this to different situations. So you can apply this to food, you can apply this to any type of hobby, type of interest. So, for example, romantic shows are not really my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea is a very British phrase to add to your vocabulary. I'm skint. This is an informal phrase that means I have no money. So I'd love to come out, but I'm totally skint until payday. So being skint is not a fun thing. So you cannot enjoy the things that you want to. I'm over the moon. This means when you are extremely happy. They said, yes, I'm over the moon. So if you like this video, I'd be over the moon. So it's when you are extremely happy. I haven't the foggiest. This is a nice phrase. This means I have no idea. If someone asked you, how do I get to the museum? And you don't know, you could say, I haven't the foggiest. So again, this is a very informal phrase, but it's nice to understand what it means. So I haven't the foggiest, I have no idea, I don't know. It's all gone pear-shaped. This means when everything has gone wrong. For example, we missed the train and now it's all gone pear-shaped. So something in your life may have gone wrong and you can say it's all gone pear-shaped. So maybe you had the perfect plan, but then the flight was cancelled, so now you're going to miss your meeting. So it's all gone pear-shaped. And some of these phrases, they're really nice because it almost alleviates stress of the situation. So calling the bad situation pear-shaped, it's a nice comedic way to lighten the situation so it doesn't feel as heavy, as stressful anymore. Give me a bell, or you could say give me a buzz. So this means to call me. You can also say give me a call, but it's nice to know that you can also say give me a bell. So for example, give me a bell when you get home. And this is an informal way to ask someone to call you. So maybe you see a friend, but you can't really talk to them because you're in a rush to go somewhere. So you can say, I'll give you a bell later. So it's a very nice phrase to know. I'm in a bit of a pickle. This is a very nice phrase. This means to be in a tricky situation. I've double booked myself, so I'm in a bit of a pickle. So I'm in a tricky situation. Maybe you've double booked meetings, or you're in a situation which is difficult, it's tricky to get out of, so I'm in a bit of a pickle. If I think about other situations that I could use this, so I'm in a bit of a pickle. Maybe you miss the bus and then the train is delayed, so now you are in a bit of a pickle. So maybe you could order a taxi, but there's a lot of traffic because it's rush hour, so you are in a bit of a pickle. Bob's your uncle. This is a very old-fashioned phrase, but even I still do use it from time to time in a funny way because I'm recognizing that it is old-fashioned. This means there you have it, or something is done. So, for example, if I'm telling someone how to do something, maybe I have to hang a frame and another person thinks it's difficult to do. So I would just hammer the nail in and say, Bob's your uncle, meaning that there it's completed, it's done. And it's a very nice, versatile phrase. If you are giving directions, maybe the directions are very complicated. So you're telling someone, okay, go left, go right, at the shops, go straight ahead, go through the traffic lights, go around the roundabout, go through the zebra crossing, and Bob's your uncle, you're there. It's not really Bob's your uncle because they are really difficult instructions to remember, but you're lightening the situation by saying Bob's your uncle. Throw a spanner in the works. This means to cause a problem. For example, his resignation really threw a spanner in the works. So the person resigned, they left their job in the middle of a really important project. And now the manager has to try and find someone else to do the same job. So when something goes wrong and something is very difficult and a spanner is thrown into the works, it causes a serious problem. Perfect. Well done. So there we have 15 very common phrases to help you to sound natural. So watch this video through again and let me know, what are some of your favorite phrases and how can you use them in your daily life? I've tried to give you a lot of different examples here, but it would be nice to hear from you. Also, let me know, where are you watching this video from? Thank you for watching, and I would be chuffed a bit if you watch this video next.